All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Haikyuu, Season 4, Episode 13. Okay. All right, this is the mid-season finale of sorts before we're going to go on a huge hiatus, a la Attack on Titan Season 3. Oh my god, that was a match we just went through. It was really exciting to be able to see not only our boys win something here, but really kind of have that establishing reminder of how many other really great teams there are out there. Getting to check in with Bokuto and Nekoma, Shiumi. Now we know he's with Kamo Midai. There's a lot of people out there, but Karasuno, they have a little bit of moment of respite. They get to kind of go like, we earned that. That was good.
And I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to do this episode, given that there's the break. But last episode was kind of a breather episode as well, so I wouldn't expect that they'd get into a match this episode or anything.
Oh, I think they're going to start
on I
think they're going to start a match.
Oh, okay.
Because I think that in a lot of ways they've been saying how much this is just moving so quickly. The whole aspect of, the matches are all just happening. They're just going. So if anything, I think we're going to meet the team that we're going to be going up against next. We're going to probably kind of spend a lot of time more just introducing them.
Okay,
and then
there we go.
Probably like the first point or what have you we'll get. So probably not much, but I think the game will start.
That bit of cliffhanger, so that way we have something to look forward to for when it comes back.
Right, because I would say in terms of like marketing, it's tough to sell people on the idea of, hey, we gave you half a season, and now just wait, a while, and come back for the next one.
Right, we're all like the hype games will be and everything, and
Right. So they need to get us hooked on that. Yeah, very much like Attack on Titan did in season 3.
Yes,
in a very unique way. I'm really excited to see which characters on Karasuno's team, though, get the focus, if anything. Tanaka had that little bit with the girl.
He did
from
indeed.
Previous episodes.
He did indeed, and he needs to tell Nishinoya all about that.
Yeah, but also based on what team they end up facing, I think it would make sense that certain Karasuno members could get the focus in a lot of ways. Like Hinata if it ends up being Hoshiumi's team, or Kageyama if it ends up being the Atsumu's team or what have you. So stuff like that. But y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, and then come back here for the discussion. All right, we've got ourselves another setup episode. We prepared ourselves as much as we could, and we got a lot of exposition regarding the team of, what are they called? Inarizaki.
Yes,
Inarizaki. We forgot that they did give us the team name in the previous episode, but we did not yet have a couple of these characters, well, specifically Atsumu. He's the only one on this team that we knew from before. Attached. We didn't have him attached to a team yet. Okay, we now know he's attached not only to the second best team in the whole national setup for the guys, but he's also in combination with a twin brother who they can both be setters or spikers.
That is crazy.
That is really cool, though.
That is really cool. Okay. All right.
I feel like you and me, Jacob, actually have a really unique perspective that we can throw into this because we're brothers. But not only that, in that there are certain things where we have that crossover. The idea of when you have a focus and a passion on a specific thing, it leads to a very unique dynamic where you can kind of just read each other's minds. Like sometimes, it's
really
crazy.
It can get pretty ridiculous. You bring up Frisbee in relation to Haikyuu a bunch, with the volleyball and everything. I'm not much of a Frisbee player, right?
No, for sure.
But with other things like, say,
like stories and anime,
stories and things like that, or any kind of if any of you know the game Codenames, it's basically this like game of association and hints and things like that, and it's absolutely stupid whenever me and Caleb are on the same team because our thought process is so similar that it's unfair.
You guys won't beat us at the game. It's crazy.
So seeing something like this where you have twins on a team and one of them is good enough to just be one of the best players out there, right?
Right.
And then the other one is comparably good, right? That is that's a bit ridiculous,
right?
That is kind of crazy, because I feel like this is the closest equivalent we have seen thus far to the Kageyama Hinata combo, because previously we've seen lots of players that have been ridiculously strong, and not that they're the only strong player on their team, but there hasn't been much of like crazy combos, whole is greater than the sum of its parts kind of a thing.
Right. The closest thing that we've seen is that every time they've introduced a new team, they always showed us two main players that were kind of the package that led the team. And Iwaizumi and Oikawa is an instance there. Setter and Spiker. Or Setter and Ace, basically.
Bokuto and Akashi.
Bokuto and Akashi.
Yeah. Ushiwaka and Tendo,
Yes, exactly. Now, oftentimes, it's the Setter is one of the players there, or like their strongest Spiker is one of the players in this combo there. But in this case, both of them could be the Setters, and both of them could be the Spikers.
That's terrifying.
So that's not only terrifying, it's something where when you're a blocker, like Tsukishima, for instance, you have no way of gauging exactly who's going to be the one that's setting versus who's going to be the one spiking. So we kind of need Tsukishima to channel a little bit of Tendo here.
Yeah, actually.
And
that's a great point. Yep.
And get inside the heads of their team. Now, what's really cool here is we already set up the fatal flaw of Inarizaki.
Which is...
Atsumu specifically is very easily distracted.
Yes,
He's
that's right.
very easily... Like, he has some, okay... I'll just say this is something that I've seen very specifically in a competitive sports scene, is that when you have a player that's very easily distracted, the glare that they give to those that are kind of disrupting them in a lot of ways, it's like a murder glare. So the idea that he was calling them squealing pigs, like that sounds like psychopath, like crazy, but it's like actually...
competitiveness can
because you can't read other people's minds,
right, exactly. He wasn't saying that out loud,
but I'm saying that people give looks sometimes that are the equivalent of that.
Well, and the idea that there was someone up there that was like, hey, please don't interrupt his serves, like this was like,
well, they're trained, they're
trained,
and these are fangirls who are more excited and passionate, and they're not a part of the unit of fans that occupy the cheering section specifically.
And you could, and given how in sync they were with it, even though it was disrupting his serve, they were like doing the cheer to build up to the point where he would make the serve and get the point and all that stuff. So
the part where he goes like that was okay, like that was one of the best ways to build up him as a character. This whole thing, like, exposition aside, cool. He can do the jump floaters and the crazy powerful jump spikes.
That was something where I almost was expecting him to be like, tonight the court will be stained with the blood of Karasuno. Leave none alive. To war! Yeah, like
there'll be no dawn for crows.
Like, that was really cool. Like, as far as just rule of cool moments to establish like how crazy it is, because we've seen Shira Torizawa with how crazy their cheering was, right?
Yeah,
and then we see this cheering, which is even crazier somehow, with like marching band stuff and whatnot and everything. They're not cheering, they're playing like battle music, right? Like, and then all of a sudden it's just like, all right, and it's just instant silence, like, oh boy.
I gotta say, as far as playing the meta of volleyball as a game, not just to put the players up to 100%, but the idea of that you're effectively casting debuffs from the
psychological
we're going to have psychological warfare in this. I'm like, all right, I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, all right, Suga, you're on the sideline. It's time to get things into action and
be
perform
ruthless in the way that only you can.
Right, exactly. What I want to see literally on the sidelines is the most like ridiculous antics from Suga and them go into like the most awkwardest, cringiest, like synchronized dance routine where they like anytime he's about to serve or what have you, they're like, "Hey boy, like let's go, all right, let's work it," and then they're like fancy feet and just going for it, and Miya Atsumu is just like, "When this game's over, I am going to destroy you. I'm going to come over and strangle you." And I want Suga to be like, "I don't even care. Like, what's the ref gonna do? Oh no, you can't play anymore. Oh no, I'm not even going to play. Kageyama's the god setter. You can't touch me. Suck this." You know, like I know that Suga is like the mom of the team and everything. But mom's seeing her babies. Moms are seeing their babies getting messed with, and she's gonna bite.
She'll cut a bit.
She's gonna get territorial up in this. Go Grizzly. I just want to see that because I got actively pissed when they started booing.
Yeah, because for Asahi.
Because Asahi is the one character, really, other than maybe Yamaguchi, who is going to serve and have a really good serve usually, but actually be affected by the environment. Now, we saw in a lot of ways how not only it's the match being the potential last match for the third years is getting to Asahi, but the idea that he's not actually freaking out as much because, you know, when Daichi's freaking out, he's like, no, I actually kind of stay cool then. Like, like I'm able to find my own in a reserve here. So the fact that it still got to Asahi, Now, however, it's still basically a tied match at this point.
Yes. Like, one of the things that I do very much appreciate is that we have established with Miya Atsumu is that he is such a control freak that it's something where when, you know, everything needs to be a microchip. And if a single grain of sand gets inside the microchip, the microchip is compromised, right? So little things like, you know, the girls in the stands cheering or things like that, right?
It still affected him.
It still affected him, right? Yeah. And I feel like it felt like it was almost something that, like, it's infected him. It's infected him. It didn't just affect him. That's a one-time thing, right? It has infected him, and hopefully that continues.
Right. I would like also for Hinata to be the squawkiest orange boy to ever squawk.
Oh yeah. Well, and with things like, oh no, I forgot to hit it. You know, I forgot to hit the ball.
Wait, he's like, you know what? You know what this is? You know what this is? You remember Hoshiumi saying that he didn't like people saying that he would either win or lose because of his height.
Yep.
He's like, no, I'm just really skilled. Right. I think this is an example of this in Atsumu, where his issue is that he is a god of volleyball, like Ushiwaka was. He's ridiculously good at his thing.
Yeah.
He wants to be acknowledged for that thing. It's that recognition aspect that all men crave. Now, when you have louder, more absurd ridiculousness happening on the other side of the court, the area you can't control.
Yeah, it gets under your skin.
It gets under your skin.
And especially because he said, I don't like playing up against weak players, right?
Well, against players that suck. Kageyama made the difference of saying, well, he sucks, but he's not weak.
Right. Which is a great, like, Shiro logic thing.
Well, no, it is, because we saw him suck here.
Oh,
he forgot to hit.
Right.
But he jumped so high that their greatest spiker on their team was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
That kid can jump.
Right. But the idea that it's basically something where, one, they don't feel like they're being taken seriously.
Yes.
Two, if they're doing something that sucks.
Experiment,
right?
You know,
experiments and things like that. In the same, like what you were talking about with Hoshiumi, because he's so good, he doesn't want people to say, well, yeah, but that other team, they were doing some
janky stuff.
They were doing some janky stuff.
That's the reason why you won.
No, he can't. He wouldn't be able to stand that. Everyone goes quiet when he clenches his fist.
You know what this is? You know what this is? This is perfect. When you have a twin, one of the common psychological problems is you need to find a way to distinguish yourself and separate yourself from this. However, here's what's exciting here. I don't sense crazy levels of competitiveness between the twins other than the usual brother shit talking of nice one. And he's like, shut up. You know, and it's that's all good stuff in there. But what is also kind of paralleling this in a meta way is they're not the best team poised to win here, this whole thing. They're the second best. And one of the things that is constantly the thing when you're the twin is you're the second of them with regards to something.
Yeah.
Like the twin of one is going to be better than the other twin at something. So you're always sharing first and second place with specific things. So he has an inferiority complex potentially of where he hates the idea of being like almost the best. You're like almost perfect, but the thing is that the other team, they're kind of a goofy, janky bunch of weirdos. You know?
Exactly.
So you know, weirdly it's enough, to be expected.
Weirdly enough, I've seen more differences between like actual biological twins than I do during like with regular siblings. Like, right. And I feel like it is one of those things where it's because there's that need to be different, right?
Exactly.
Now in this situation, they've established a pretty good balance, you know, within the two.
And they feel like they gel really well.
They feel like they gel really well, and personality-wise, they are very different just from what we've seen so far. Which totally makes sense, and I'm really excited to see the other brother get characterized and stuff. Since Atsumu is such a diva, kind of, like not a full diva, but it's something.
I think it's like you're saying. It's similar to Oikawa, but you said the control freak kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oikawa was sending out, I would say, more signals than what this guy is sending out.
Right.
He is actually, I would say, more of the quiet. Like everyone be quiet. Like he's not actively trying to control the environment as much as more as he is like kind of.
Right. He's doing things to demand things of the environment, not doing things to actively influence the environment.
Right, except for that one part that was pre-practiced and planned.
Well, right, but what I mean is that is a demand of the people, and they respond to that demand.
It's cyclical.
But he's not doing something that will generate that response in an organic manner.
Right. That is, in my opinion, what made Oikawa such a good setter.
Exactly.
And that's the thing that Kageyama seems to have learned more recently in how he adjusted more to suit the needs of his spikers and make it easy for them in the stuff that he learned in the training arc.
Which is interesting because if he makes it easy for the spikers and yet he has this personality, those are two things that seem like they would clash.
They would, but I think that's the thing, is that Atsumu has practiced at such a high level to the point where he doesn't have that problem if he's able to operate in an environment where it works out.
Right, because he has essentially a
greenhouse effect.
A hermetically sealed greenhouse effect with his team where that's a set of variables and those don't change. But with the people outside his team, the other team, the people cheering, that stuff that is different.
Yeah, and I would say that this is something that's rather exciting. They were talking about, what was the guy? I'm going to just go over the names again, even though we're not going to remember them all here. We're going to have them all down for our Ojiro Aran. So Ojiro Aran is their first person that they built up on the other side, probably because he's the most athletic person on their team.
He gets the most points.
He gets the most points. He's their strongest spiker. He's their Ushiwaka, basically.
Right. Yeah.
Now, what's kind of, I would say, exciting about this prospect here is that if he is their one that is kind of their focal point for their offense, if you will, and they said when he's in the zone, when he gets on his game, when everything is working out for him, he's top 3 material and better for spikers.
Right.
So what I could see being the thing here is that this game is about who stays on their game.
Sure.
So it's a psychological battle in that obviously in order to make Karasuno actually win this, which I think they're actually building up for Karasuno to win this, by the way.
I think so too.
Is that they need to show how Karasuno loses their game and gains it back, but how also this team loses their game and doesn't get it back.
Right. One of the things that I thought was really interesting with how everything was set up here, because with Miya Atsumu, his whole thing is making the spikes really easy for or the sets really easy for spikers, right?
Yep. Which is Kageyama. Kageyama praised that.
Right, exactly. One of the things that's interesting, though, is that whenever you see someone use a particular tactic, that is usually something where you can tell that that's something that they see to basically be the most valuable, right?
Sure. Right. They've practiced it a bunch. They've used it. They've seen success with it.
But that also means with regard to the cheers, right?
Oh,
the fact that it was, all right, silence. All right, boo the other team's person when they're spiking,
right?
Or
so that
serving.
Flow is disrupted.
If that flow is disrupted for them, it would be a detriment to them, and because it would be a detriment for them, they then say, we should do that against the other side because that means this is effective, right? It's
right.
The perspective sort of dictating the reality,
signaling
right?
the other team how to beat them in a lot of ways.
And
it might not work, but it should have some effect.
And given that we saw Miya Atsumu do the silencing of the crowd, right? That means that they're kind of marching to the beat of his drum. Now, not that they take orders specifically from him, but they are very much accommodating for him, with the person saying, don't interrupt the serves and things like that, right?
Yeah.
So that makes me think that he is one that in particular would get bothered in the same way that he was bothered by the cheering. His being off his game could influence the rest of the team.
Well, because he is the control tower setter.
Exactly.
There. And I think that's why they're setting up the twin dynamic in that even if he is not fulfilling his duties as well as a setter, they can literally just casually have the twin Miya brother pick up the slack.
And I think that's also one of the reasons, like from a meta perspective, of why this potential problem hasn't been nipped in the bud yet, because he hasn't had to. He has essentially the safety net of the twin brother that whenever he's having an off day, he can cover for him, right? And that's why it's terrifying, because the single point of failure isn't a single point of failure anymore, right?
And as a team dynamic, that's what you want. You don't want everything to rely on one person for a specific job. In that respect, we have that a little bit with regards to, I would say, every player in Karasuno except Nishinoya. There is no backup libero.
Right. Hinata's been getting better at, getting in position for receives and stuff, but we can't literally not
have
even Daichi
Hinata
is anywhere near.
Well, right, but we couldn't have Hinata never hit spikes. That would be the end of Karasuno as we know it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that.
Yeah, Nishinoya, it's Nishinoya.
Like, you would need to have Inoshita basically come on and basically be a second Daichi and be like, hey, buddy, you're the libero now. There are two things that they built up, I would say, that are more potential foreshadowings here. They mentioned that we can't have anyone getting hurt. Once that happened, my mind was triggered back to the part in the OP where they show the, Deadchi, the part that everyone this part here.
Yeah. Right.
Oh no, Daichi became Deadchi. Right. But that was something that they built up a little bit, as potential thing of, we'll make sure no one gets hurt. So I hope no one gets hurt in this match. But the other thing that they did was they showcased another player here who hasn't really been, I would say, given a little bit of focus here. Suno Rintaro. Now, I look at his design, and he reminds me of a combination now actually of three characters.
Yeah.
He has the number 10 aspect, middle blocker, and short aspect of Hinata.
Right.
He has the observant, calculating, really good defender bit of Tsukishima. But then he has the other bit where his intuition is one where he's going to psychologically figure out the weak point of your team as well. And that's the Kenma bit.
Right.
So this guy, I see as being the one that is almost in some ways the true weapon of their team. In that they never really mentioned his physical abilities other than he's a decent blocker or what have you. And if this match turns into a psychological one, he is going to be their backup card on when their team is falling out of sorts.
Well, one of the other things...
He'll then throw it back at Karasuno.
Yeah, I definitely am getting that feeling. The other character that got very, very little focus this episode on Inarizaki, but I'm really excited to see what they do with him, is their team captain.
Yeah, that's true. They did give a little bit, but not much
part of
all.
It is because of the rule of cool, because, so you had Miya Atsumu with the silencing of the cheers, right? But then you had the team captain, doing the talking with the interview. Kita Shinsuke. But you also had him literally do a cape throw off when they came onto the court. Like literally they're all walking in and he just, and I think it was like a towel or something. Like it was something. Let me try something else. But okay. As far as making an entrance and just rule of cool there, that was pretty awesome. And given that,
there it is. It's a sweater. It's not a sweater. It's like a track jacket, kind of like small thing there.
Yeah.
He just tosses it to the side.
Yeah, like as because of maybe the crazy personality of Miya Atsumu, and that he is kind of such a control freak. The fact that then that makes me way more excited than to see what the team captain's like.
Right.
Because he doesn't seem like someone that lets Miya Atsumu walk over him or anything like that, right? Like he understands what Miya Atsumu does within the context of the team and everything, but he's the team captain. Right?
I actually just in looking at their assemblage of their 7, here, just realized something. Where's their libero? You just realize that they don't have a color difference for their libero here. So maybe they show a full lineup at a point where they actually give us that
is a good
liberos
question.
Look here. Okay, so there are 2 players in white.
Yeah, so those are probably
the liberos. Okay, so they just aren't.
Yeah, so they weren't in the walking montage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they're either so short that they're being dwarfed by the really tall people, which actually I think is a part of a point here. I actually think we could get a lot of analysis. I don't want to go too in depth into it, but just of looking at them here. The twin, number 11 of the Miya ones. They're 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven, yeah.
Slurpee. All the fangirls. Yeah, thirsty.
Yep.
But number 11, he actually looks a little bit in a lack of confidence kind of area there.
Really?
Do you see a little bit of him being like his eyes are slanted kind of down and looking off to the side.
Okay.
Miya Atsumu, though, has his hands kind of on his side.
He's the shit-eating grin, super cocky.
Right. He has an Oikawa look right there. Mm-hmm. We have Aran on the right, and he looks like he's like, I'm on my game.
Yeah.
I'm game face, I'm good to go. The guy behind him looks like the tallest one there. Mm-hmm. He looks like he's about to kill someone.
Yeah.
Then you have the captain, and he is literally like doing the I'm going to move my arms, and they I am confident, I'm ready to be here, I'm walking, I am number 1. He is not the tall one in this group here.
Right. Yeah.
He is actually kind of the average height looking one. Mm-hmm. I'm serious. He is going to be the Daichi equivalent where they are going to lose their cool a little bit.
Right. And then we're going to see exactly why this guy's the team captain.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Then number 10, the guy on the left, who I am literally looking out for him, he is my player to watch in a lot of ways, because he is he radiates dark horse,
wild card.
Dark horse, wild card, all that. Mm-hmm. And he has the look of all right, I guess this is the game. He is dispassionate to the umpteenth degree with that look. And that screams Tsukishima, that screams Kenma, that screams everything that his role doesn't seem to be. So there's that.
So yeah, I have a take. I totally didn't see the whole thing of the lack of confidence from number 11. Mm-hmm. What I saw from that was that it was kind of bored. Yes. Basically, I'm the dependable guy that is just sort of here, and right. And I come out to play basically when Miya Atsumu is off his game.
Right, but bored to me is an antithesis to passion. Passion comes from confidence. There's an aspect of what they did with Tanaka's childhood friend, where she was saying, "You helped give me confidence.
Yeah,
watch me play." Mm-hmm. There looks to be only one person on this team that is in the watch me play kind of mood right here.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone else looks like they're either just casual game face, or they're just calm, they're serious.
Right.
Because that was what the captain said. We're calm. We're just going to try to win and play a good game. Right. And I can see that there is someone here that has the watch me kind of look on, which is confidence. Now, everyone else, though, they might not be. They're definitely probably confident, but I would say that number 11, I could see the synergy potentially waning at a point where he starts to be off his game in addition to Miya when they need number 11.
That would be, if there were to be something that would destroy them, it would probably be that. Because if he is able to cover for Miya, then
they shouldn't.
Then they should be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I definitely think Karasuno is going to win. They're doing the whole thing where Karasuno has to change colors. Orange here, right? It's them basically like having to be out of their element, which means the most rewarding thing for them would be to have them win despite switching a little bit of things up.
I gotta say, I was kind of surprised with the. I get having Karasuno miss points at the beginning. I was surprised though at the number of times that they had Inarizaki
miss points.
Miss points.
Yeah, there were 2 sets missed.
I get Miya Atsumu missing the second set.
Right, that was something built up within the story.
Right, it was something built up within the story with the distraction from all the other stuff, and there you go, right? But then, who was it? I can't remember who
it was after. Number 5, I believe.
Oh, yeah?
The guy in the back here.
Yeah, that's right. But he also missed the serve, and it was like, okay, that's interesting. I wouldn't have expected that. But, yeah.
Yeah, it's 2-2, I think, at the point where they ended the episode. So it's 2-1 when Asagi misses.
Or wait,
no,
it's 3-2. I think
it might be 3-2. You're right.
Or 3-1.
No.
Oh yeah, 3-2. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's 3-2 for Inarizaki.
And everyone's here watching this game. Like, I didn't expect that, but I love it because it's like, okay, yeah, if they're the number 2, like, you know, like assumed to win nationals team, then of course, you know, the other like super pro players and stuff that also, you know some of the players on the teams from the training camp.
Hoshiumi.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're going to be here to see exactly how this goes.
Yeah, and this is also one of the first games of the day. So it's one where a lot of people aren't in their matches yet.
Exactly.
And they don't have obviously space to practice because all the courts are being taken.
Yeah.
I am very excited for this match to go like the full distance, like have it be a very slow, meticulous match and have us get into it here. Because given that they built up Hoshiumi so much in the previous episode, Karasuno has to beat these guys.
Has to beat them. But how they're going to beat them, I have no idea, and I'm so excited to see how it's going to happen because it is stacked against them.
Yeah. And there's a lot of intimidation, I would say, coming across the court from Inarizaki. So, y'all, we're gonna have to wait a while, but thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. We will be there with you when Karasuno comes back to face Inarizaki in Season 4, Episode 14. So, if you want to see full-length version of this reaction right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. Any level of support gets you access to our Discord where you can chat with us and our Haikyuu community there about this show. There's a Haikyuu community for the manga as well. You can chat with them about that. You can talk with us about anime stories in general. Check out some of our other shows or what have you. Like the story that Jacob wrote and published himself in a book.
Indeed.
Booyah.
Indeed. And, a few episodes ago, Haikyuu basically sponsored it.
That's true.
Because it's called Battle Lines, and it's really cool, and it's on Amazon. Link in the description. Go check it out.
Yes, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.